Take a look at the small piece of land where Bosnia and Herzegovina divide Croatia in half. This coastline of about 21 kilometers gives Bosnia access to the Adriatic Sea. After 4 years of war between Bosnia and Croatia, this area called Neum was given to the Bosnians with a Dayton Agreement, despite all the pressures and efforts of the Croats. Today, Croatia is building a huge bridge across the Adriatic Sea to ensure its territorial integrity and connect the south of the country with the north. But this project also threatens the small coastal strip of Bosnia and Herzegovina. The European Union is a supporter of the Croats in this regard and did not hesitate to provide funding to the country for the construction of the bridge. I want to tell you about this complicated situation between two countries. If you want to help me, you can subscribe to my channel and like the video. Let's take a trip back to the early 90s to understand things better. After the collapse of the Soviet Union and the fall of the Berlin Wall, Western countries set targets in the Balkans. Austria and Germany wanted Croatia to separate from Yugoslavia. As a matter of fact, it happened exactly as they wanted and Croatia became a free country. Soon after, he took action in Bosnia to secede from Yugoslavia. On March 1, 1992, Bosnian Croats and Bosnian Muslims held a referendum on independence. According to the result of 99.7%, they declared their independence from Yugoslavia. After Bosnia became an independent state, an explosion took place in Sarajevo, which was under siege on May 27, 1992, which was undertaken by the Serbs. After this event, the United Nations began to impose an economic embargo on the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. So you can interpret the events from an economic point of view simply as today's Ukraine-Russia war. With the attitude of the United Nations towards Yugoslavia and the separation of countries from Yugoslavia, the Bosnian War, one of the biggest wars in history, emerged. The enmity between Bosniaks, Serbs, and Croats fed and magnified this war for more than 3 years. On the 6th of April 1992, the Serbs started attacking Bosnia, which declared its independence as a result of the referendum. The Bosnian War is the biggest indicator of the genocide against the Bosnians. But that's the subject of another video. In this video, I want to talk about the effect of borders and geography on countries. At the end of the Bosnian War, one of the most brutal wars in history, the Dayton Agreement was signed with the intervention of NATO and thus the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina was established. Turkey accepted Bosnia and Herzegovina as an independent state on February 6, 1992 and established diplomatic relations on August 29, 1992. So what determines a country? Limits, of course. The Dayton deal ended these conflicts with a complex political arrangement. Croatia has annexed archipelagos and coastal towns along the east coast of the Adriatic Sea. These coastlines were invaluable to the country's tourism revenues. However, when we went south, Dubrovnik region, which is Croatian territory, was divided due to the Neum Corridor belonging to Bosnia and Herzegovina. And yes, this area is very valuable as it is the only area in Sarajevo that has access to the sea. So do you think that the emergence of this limit was with the Dayton Agreement? Actually, not exactly. The existence of the Neum Corridor dates back to the 17th century and, naturally, to the Ottoman Empire. At the time when our ancestors fought the Venetians, the Dubrovnik region was called the Principality of Ragusa. The Republic of Ragusa was a state that paid taxes to the Ottoman Empire and accepted its patronage. For this reason, they had the right to trade freely on Turkish soil. More interestingly, in 1509, when the Ottomans were besieging the Indian city of Diu, Ragusa fought with us against the Portuguese. In short, the trust between these two countries was quite strong. The Ottoman Empire was supporting Ragusa in order to balance the activities and power of Venice in the Adriatic and Mediterranean. However, when the Ottomans had to withdraw from the Balkans, the control of the Neum Corridor passed first to the Austrian Empire and then to Yugoslavia. It is very strange to know that these first states do not exist today. The strange thing is that there was no country called Bosnia and Herzegovina at that time. However, when Yugoslavia collapsed in the 1990s, the Neum coastline became part of Bosnia and Herzegovina. The connection of this location, which is strategically important both in history and today, to the sea consists of only 21 kilometers. Despite this, you might think that it allows Bosnia to have a say in the Balkans. No lie, that's what I thought too, but I can say that Bosnia and Herzegovina's wrong political attitudes digest. The tragic feature of this region, Bosnia and Herzegovina prefers to use Plo's port in Croatia, instead of building a port on its only landlocked land. Of course, unlike me, there are those who think that this policy was made in order to have more say in foreign policy. You will understand this much better later in the video when I explain the way Bosnia is governed. To continue without deviating from the subject, Croatia announced that it will impose a limitation on the Plo's port, which is also used by Bosnia and Herzegovina after it becomes a full member of the EU, and the Bosnian administration felt the need to make a port in this region. But against this move, of course, the Croats had a trump card. While the Neum Corridor has geopolitical and geo-economic potential for Bosnia, it is a place that threatens the territorial integrity of Croatia for the future. The two countries signed a pact to prevent the region from giving birth to a new war. Free and transit passes from highways were included in this agreement, but the Croatian administration wanted to complete the territorial integrity of their country no matter what. Therefore, with the support of the EU, they built a bridge with a length of approximately 2.5 kilometers and a height of 55 meters. This unusual bridge, which was built on July 24, 2022, is the second largest bridge in Europe, and its cost has reached 420 million euros. Bosnia and Herzegovina opposed the project with the concerns of preventing its access to the open seas, endangering the traffic of the commercial port of Neum, and attacking the territorial integrity of Bosnia. Probably this issue will turn into a civil case in international courts. Of course, Croatia argues that this bridge is not against the law and that the height of 55 meters is sufficient for the safe passage of ships coming to Neum. Maritime law agreement uncertain. Even if the Bosnian administration wants to file a lawsuit, they do not have political unity among themselves on this issue. According to the Bosnian constitution, there are three constituent groups. These are Bosnians, Serbs, and Croats. And according to the Dayton Agreement, these three ethnic groups must share power. So let me put it this way, the presidency in Bosnia and Herzegovina is elected for 4 years. And during these 4 years, 3 elected members of Bosnia, Croat and Serbian ethnicity preside in rotation for 8-month terms. And shortly after publishing this video, the Bosniak president will no longer be in his seat, because his term ends on November 20th. Let's get back to our topic. The thing is simply this. Bosnians oppose the construction of the bridge, but Bosnian Croats do not see it as a provocative element, so they tie the Bosniaks' hands in the parliament. The wrong politics I said in the video and the use of Croatian ports are actually related to this issue. On the other hand, Bosnian Serbs remain silent and indifferent despite these disagreements. In other words, Bosnians are helpless in domestic politics and their right to speak is limited. Let's see what the next days will show us. If you were to ask this question to a history buff like me, I would say you have to look for the answer in the past. That's why I tried to tell the history of the region as much as I could. So, what do you think about this interesting topic? You can express your ideas in the comments. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to check out my other videos.